Roundup. Because we are marching into damn it. Hi everybody, we're marching into madness. I'm Bailey, and this is
Raza Malik.
And this is the monthly news roundup for March 2021.
Made it! Past another month, we made it. We didn't die.
We haven't collapsed in on ourselves as a society just yet. Civil divide.
Cut. Ah!
Starting things off, the Duchess of Essex, or Rachel from Suits, or also aka Meghan Markle, burned many a bridges this month. During their candid interview with Oprah, Meghan and her very handsome husband sat for 6 hours telling everything about the family.
How they could expect that after all of this time, we would still just be silent.
Her husband, Harry the Prince, opened up the feud between Rachel and the media and how the media had mistook their relationship with their family. And other things like mental health, and this is the one that made all the headlines, their race and the royal family. Because those creepy old British people only want
fucking income fucking poop.
We all see the business side of the family called The Firm. Shout out anyone who watches The Crown. You're going to see that. All that Princess Di creepy stuff, yeah, is going on here. Which is there to manage the image of the family. The Firm is basically responsible for misinformation in regards to the couple. This is hard to find complete hard evidence for, but it is widely known that they have a lot of influence over the tabloids and media in Britain, kind of like their version of TMZ. The aftermath is an internal investigation of the palace that should root out the issues, but since writing and recording, nothing has come of said investigation. If you want to learn more, you can check out a podcast we just did about 2 weeks ago. Put the link in the description. It's a great deep dive on all our perspectives of it, but the overall dramatics of the situation. Our fucking dope co-host, Wine Mom, gave like a case-by-case recount of it. So
yeah,
check it.
Still on the theme for Les Royals, British journalist and talk show host of Good Morning Britain, Piers Morgan, took an L.
Okay, I'm done with this. No, sorry. No.
And got fired from the show. This move comes after 400,000 complaints were sent to parent company IPTV, which is like a big... Imagine getting 400,000 complaints. And you just have your hands tied at that point. That can't be the best spot.
A whole PR department just for him, I bet.
Yeah. He said he left, but let's be real. He got canned, right?
So I think that we need to all take a step back.
He has been hella critical of Meghan Markle since she allegedly brushed him off, calling her out for race baiting and saying she does not have issues. Typical stuff what a conservative talk show host says. His last appearance was him storming off the show when one of his co-hosts was calling him out.
And she cut you off. She's entitled to cut you off if she wants to. Has she said anything about you since she cut you off? I don't think she has.
Yeah. And then now he's moving on to greener pastures where he gets to be a racist on television with Sharon Osbourne.
Which is so funny. It's like the circle. It's like the time. No, time is a flat circle, Bailey. All right, time is a flat fucking circle.
Straight out of Mr. Robot, a hacker collective hacked into the security cameras of a startup called Verkada. More than that, though, their entire network, thus gaining access to schools, hospitals, and other institutions using those cameras. Companies also got indirectly hit by this. That includes Tesla, Cloudflare, Cloudflare, that site you watch all your semi-legal videos on. On top of those hospitals mentioned before, they also hacked into the cameras that use the facial recognition software within the hospitals And some of these companies being located in China means the larger network of facial recognition as a whole. Hacking into Tesla's Shanghai factory and warehouses, they showed everything inside those buildings, all the ins and outs of Elon's eccentricities. The point of this was to show how easy it is to hack into these multi-billion-dollar companies. The person who led this, Tilly Cotman, who is apparently responsible for the hacking into Nissan and Intel specifically, said, "Lots of curiosity, fighting for freedom of information and against intellectual property. A huge dose of anti-capitalism, a hint of anarchism, and it's also just too much fun not to do it if you can."
Like, imagine being that guy. So it's like, yeah, I did it for shits and giggles, just to have fun. I was bored. Bolivian president has been jailed only after a short time as president. Janine Anez took power after a long time. President Evo Morales resigned. Anez and a handful of government officials were also charged with leading the coup against Morales in 2019. Morales, by the way, has served the country for 13 years, so big deal for that guy. Morales' movement for socialism party, now headed by his former economy minister, swept back into power in a landslide election in October, prompting Morales to return from exile in Argentina. At least 30 people were killed after she took office. Now Anez, along with a handful of other government officials, has charges of terrorism, sedition, and conspiracy.
We feel it's widely known that Rockstar Games has load times almost as long as it takes their games in development. Fans have been upset at how long they have to wait to get into any lobby to play Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, the game's been out for like 6 years, and it only takes maybe 2 years to get into a lobby. They started to combat this. They started this cool new program called the Bug Bounty Program, which would award users a cash prize for solving like set problems that they were trying to solve. So in Rockstar's latest update for GTA, they have included a fan-made patch by Toast to update their massively long loading times. You can read about all the details in the description because that's some truly deep nerdy stuff that's hard to explain here. But long story short, the load times are fixed by GTA Online's loading processes being simplified, and saw nearly 2 billion largely pointless item checks before each game. So hopefully load times will be cut down by about 70%. So for example, imagine you gotta load up your video game. It needs to do all the trees, all the cars, all the random shit to make up the world. But if you can upload like one zip file that has all that, like boom, you're good to go. Basically, he did that.
It's like a Rockstar thing. You do it. You do. You do it. I don't know what to do. I don't know.
Supposedly, they paid him $10,000 for a franchise that is still bringing in millions of dollars of revenue to this year. I don't think that's enough money, but that's my opinion.
Since everybody is being caught up with talking to kids, and rightfully so, Zucky or Instagram took out of action. In a new update, the social media app has limited the interaction between minors and adults after removing many accounts of adults DMing kids. Ugh. How will it work? Well, Raza, when an adult sends a message to a minor, the minor gets a prompt giving them options to either block or report the user DMing them. The prompt should remind young users to feel pressure to respond to messages and to be careful sharing photos, videos, or other information with somebody they don't know. The update will be available sometime later this year on both Android and iOS. So, for the love of God, stop talking to kids that aren't your own.
Earlier this month, President Biden fired a bunch of staffers who smoked that dank back in the day. Why it's controversial is that he promised these staffers he wouldn't, and it wouldn't affect their upcoming jobs in the White House, and that weed is becoming legal in the States is something he kind of platformed. In fact, most of the guidelines are about alcohol and DUIs, but have no mention of weed if you were to apply for a job in the White House. In the past, Biden has been on the forefront of opposing weed too. He has been an opponent of weed reform, and he helped to create the very war on drugs we're still experiencing the impacts of to this day. But all of this contradicts the White House's policy on drugs after former President Obama and current Vice President Kamala Harris have smoked the devil's lettuce and admitted it publicly on the record on interviews you can find on YouTube.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay.
And I inhale. I did.
The criteria of being fired didn't matter. So if one smoked weed illegally or legally, didn't matter. It was just them doing the act of smoking the marijuana that made them a bad person. The policies were never explained. I'm reading a quote. The policies were never explained. The threshold for what was excusable and what was inexcusable was never explained, as one anonymous staffer told the Daily Beast. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki tweeted out, "The bottom line is this. Of the hundreds of people hired, only 5 people who had started working at the White House are no longer employed as a result of this policy." So shout out to New York for being the first hip of the posh states down south because they legalized marijuana.
So, for all you watching, Bailey and I would immediately get a job because I can speak for myself, and I can also speak for my beautiful co-host here. We have never touched any of that stuff, all right? And you should never touch that stuff either, okay?
Without further ado, take it away, Mary Sue.
Jesus Christ is my nigga.
Literally taken out of an episode of Atlanta, Canadian bad boy turned born-again Christian has put Martin Luther King's speeches in his album. One in the beginning and one somewhere else. And by the way, his latest album is a little too on the nose, and it's called Justice because he's that cool. The first speech is in a song called Too Much. So it's the number 2, not T-O or T-O-O. And it has nothing to do with the MLK speech or MLK himself. And another speech is a 2-minute track by King himself reading a passage from his sermon, But If Not, in 1967. The album is apparently showing us, Marching the Madness, that he's a new guy, a new person. He's found love in his wife, Haley Baldwin, who is related to Alec Baldwin. But most importantly, he found God. He found Jesus. He found Biebs Believes. Donald Glover's Atlanta aired an episode very much like this.
It doesn't matter. You know that always be there. Storm's crazy, and you know it.
In his new era, and it's of him turning into a new stone, and Don Glover could have not seen it coming, which is pretty funny. Bonus fact: the album has not one sample, but 2 samples of the late great Dr. Martin Luther King.
I wonder how much Justin paid for royalties on that.
Probably a lot, because he is like respecting the culture. He respects he respects his privilege. He understands it. I'm being facetious right now, so don't.
Shit is just a rebirth.
Microsoft has been out here flaunting that bag. The tech company is coming for your ass, my ass, and Joe's ass down the street. They've been looking into buying gaming chat app Discord, And that's
Right.
after buying a whole bunch of licenses this month. They've been playing around with a small $10 billion and are looking to, like, you know, maybe buy it if they can. If Microsoft gets Discord, they could very much well win the big dick swinging contest between them and Sony that's been going on for the past, like, 20 years. The interesting thing about this buyout is that if it happens, Microsoft can have a peek at what people are playing on a daily, real-time basis. Not just on their platforms, but on Nintendo's, Steam's, Sony's, Epic's, and on mobile. This would help better understand what the players need, but also what their habits are and user data from their competition. In turn, more exclusives on Xbox platforms could be developed since they're learning what gamers like specifically, and they won't need to go to the other platforms. This may be a huge win against their competitors, Sony, since Sony has historically held the W in terms of exclusive content and like building things around their live service to users.
For a week straight, boat and trade traffic was jammed in and around the Suez Canal in Egypt because of a giant ass freight ship got stuck. However, teams of salvage crews got the ship out from being beached. We pulled it off, said Peter Berdwowski, hired to extract the Ever Given in a statement. I'm excited to announce that our team of experts working in close collaboration with the Suez Canal Authority successfully refloated the Ever Given, thereby making free passage through the Suez Canal possible again. About $9 billion worth of goods is transported through the Suez Canal every day, and for a week they had a blockage of 400 massive ships. With the canal traffic drop, Egypt lost $95 million in revenue. Also, the ship is the longest ship in the world, which is about 200,000 tons stuck in a very thin canal.
I know, and it's absurd, man, just to think how you have to thread the needle with one of those mega ships. Like, no wonder.
Yeah. Like, have you seen how fucking narrow?
This week in our Canadian news, public health units in Ontario are being hit by bots on their COVID vaccine booking appointment site. These bots blocked out real users, all the while bypassing all the needs you do need to register. Quote, "What we think was happening was that some people were doing everything possible to make sure that their loved ones could get a spot in the vaccine queue." End quote. Dr. Chris Mackey from London's Public Health SIT, adding that those bots were booking up multiple spots for the vaccine, thus blocking many others from booking. Now, because of that, the actual process itself requires people's health and OHIP numbers. He also said that the company that hosted the bookings, Verdo Health, has since fixed the issue after reporting it to the London Public Health Department.
In a 6-3 vote, Ottawa's Supreme Court ruled in favor of Trudeau's Liberal government carbon tax campaign, a major decision that allows Ottawa to push ahead with its ambitious plan to ensure every province in Ontario has a price on carbon to curb greenhouse gas emissions. Opposing arguments, specifically from Ontario, Alberta, and Saskatchewan, the typical characters argued that their province's resources are theirs and fall into the province's jurisdiction. Chief Justice Richard Wagner said the threat of climate change is too great to not impose the federal government's mandate on these provinces. Thank you guys for watching again every month. You know, we're doing it, keeping it real. You can.
It's so enthusiastic, Raza. You're
because
really,
I am
really
so
selling
over
it
this
here, bro.
All right, I'll try it again.
Okay.
Everybody, thanks for watching our monthly news roundup. We have a great time shooting it. We have a great time recording it. Bailey has a great time editing it. I have a great time researching it. We love that you guys watch this shit. We love to keep you guys informed, and we want to keep on doing this. We love this shit. I don't know how more enthusiastic I can get, Bailey, but I'm very enthusiastic. But you can follow me at right here. I usually, because it's confusing for me to say my Instagram shit, but here's Bailey saying his stuff, his thing.
He's
his
excited.
Stuff.
He's excited. He says he's excited, but he
excited.
missed the typical YouTube shit. You gotta smash that like button. Smash that like button. You gotta hit the bell and make sure those notifications are hit. Because otherwise you won't catch the next video. Let's get this to 1,000 likes.
Tell your grandma about us, yo. She will love us. We're good Christian boys. Well, not me, but Bailey's a good Christian boy.
All right, we'll see you later.
We'll see you later, homies. Ow, my arm. But see you later.
All right,